way, but there is a saying in Hindi, "Ant bhala to sab bhala." You understand? If your end is well, then everything is fine. So we were almost supposed to close by this time, but we are beginning at this time. It's 4:05 almost. I think around 40 minutes. Okay? This was supposed to be more than 1.5 hours, at least 1 hour. So it's going to be now contracted into it. So I am going to omit obviously certain things which I was supposed to speak. So let's come directly to point. Character and development.
He's doing.
Yes. So let me directly come to point. We all want to be successful. We all know how to be successful. I never feel that today's youth does not know how to become successful. You all know the means. What will I do which will make me successful? All of us are aware. In fact, you will be advising your younger brothers, sisters, right? You should do like this, you should do like that. So problem is not about knowledge. Problem is implementation. I know, but yet I can't do. That's a bigger challenge. Not the knowledge. You have all the books. If you go to bookstores, self-help books are there. Stores, hundreds of books, hundreds of videos on YouTube, hundreds of PPTs on internet available. You have world-class material available for self-improvement. So problem is not material. Problem is we keep on downloading, but forward to install. So we keep on reading, collecting. We have become information grabber. You know, this new video on WhatsApp, this new message. Wow, what a video, what a message. And then immediately, what is next? So what do I do with that video? I don't remember. In fact, after half an hour, we forget most of the information what we've gone through. We have trivialized the information. Okay? It's like quantity has overtaken the quality. So let's very briefly first understand what are the things which we can use. If someone can just play, it's there. There are, very quickly I will run you through, there are 6 dimensions. Let's say there are 6 resources each one of us have, which can help us make our life good. It can help us develop our career. In every different way we can become good and good. These 6 different dimensions are spiritual, physical, spiritual, physical, mental, emotional, intellectual and social. Okay, I am not going to go into detail of this, but you can understand it very clearly, simply. Anybody is born with a body and a spirit. We call it Atman. There is some difference between a live person and a dead person. You can say soul, Atman, spirit, whatever. But there are 2 components when we are born, when we come into this world we have. That is physical, our body and our spirit. These 2 things are there. Then we start emoting, right? We start feeling love, or sometimes fighting with your cousins, with your brothers, right? So all those emotions, emotion of feeling love, emotions of jealousy, hatred, so we get emotional dimension. Okay? Mental dimension is formed by collection of impression. Our mind collects data from our senses. Like in computer we have a keyboard, we have a mouse, we can also speak through voice command we can give. Just like that for our mind, the commands are from all our senses. And mainly what we use is our eyes and ear. These are main two senses which grab information from this world. So mental dimension means what type of software is going to build from these information which are going to be collected from these senses. That is mental dimension, which forms an ultimate resource later. Intellectual dimension is nothing but your ability to analyze. So let's say once the child grows little bit, he goes to school. So he learns maths, he learns English, he learns different languages, he learns different subjects, he learns science. He tries to understand what is good, what is bad. He tries to analyze. Okay, so that dimension is intellectual dimension. Okay, all of us mainly grow in our intellectual dimension through our present education system. Social dimension is nothing but meeting each other. Man is a social animal. If you remove social, it becomes man is an animal. So basically we have to do networking. We have to meet. Without being a social person, you can't do business in today's world. In fact, what all we are enjoying here right now, it's product of somebody's work. Right? Lot of people have worked in an organized way. That's why they could produce this fan. That's why they could produce this mic. That's why they could produce. And we are all enjoying this. So this is the cause of every product. What we are enjoying today is nothing but a product of the social endeavor of humankind. Now, this I can't go into detail because this is a 3-day program if I have to take each. But what I have to connect here is that Vivekananda has spoken a lot about character. Okay, a lot. In fact, if you read his, there is a complete works of Vivekananda. There are 8 volumes. I think now 9th has come. If you read in first 2 volumes, majority of his things, what he has spoken is about character. So, but one very interesting definition he gives about character, which I think I can relate to present generation, and also it relates to our career, how we can work. And this definition is emotions controlled and directed towards work forms our character. Emotions controlled and directed towards work. If we have that ability, we can actually form a good character, not only good character, a good career, a good life. Now, what do I mean by it? Basically, I am going to talk about one resource which is called emotional resource. I told you 6 resources. I told you about 6 different resources just now. Out of them, one was emotional resource. Now, this is most underutilized resource. Most underutilized. Let me explain you this. Nowadays, if you go to any good company or for higher education in different organizations, they see 2 types of things. Once they evaluate on your IQ, your intelligence quotient, which is your cognitive ability. Okay. Second thing which is gaining prevalence in today's world is EQ. You must have heard this term. Your emotional intelligence. Okay. So this resource is so underutilized. All of us have this in abundance, but we are misusing this, and I am going to tell you that. So before I tell you that, how many of you know are aware about the name Arunima Sinha? How many of you have heard Arunima Sinha? Any heroine? Cricket player? Okay, so let me tell you this story of Arunima Sinha. Arunima Sinha was a national level volleyball player and football player. I am going to go a little fast, so you have to be totally attentive. We have to make it really intense. Okay? 11th April 2011, this girl who comes from a lower middle class background, she was traveling in a train going from Lucknow to Delhi to attend her. Yes, I know, few of you may be aware about Arunima Sinha. Okay. So it's easy for me, I can make it short now. For those who do not know, please maintain silence for them to understand. Okay. So this girl was traveling from Lucknow to Delhi to attend an interview for head constable's exam. Okay. In train during midnight around 12 a.m., few goons entered into that general compartment. She was sitting in a general compartment, and they started snatching whatever you had. They started threatening people, and they started snatching their jewelry, their money, their mobile phone, their watches, whatever possibly they had. This girl alone protested. She had a chain, and they tried to take it, but she was a sportsman, that spirit was there, she just was not letting it go. There was a physical tussle, and these goons thought, if one girl is fighting with us, everybody will get excited and they all will, fight with us and we will be nowhere. So we must teach her a lesson. So they took that girl and they threw her out of running train. And when they threw her out, there was a parallel track, another track, railway track. Another train was coming on that track. The train just passed, but this girl, when she was thrown, she hit to the other bogies and fell down. As she fell down, she realized her one leg is chopped, one leg is gone, left leg, just below thigh. Another leg, there were multiple fractures, the bones have come out. Back, there were 3 fractures, one hand also fractured. And now, one 22-year-old girl, midnight around 12:30 a.m., lying in a jungle between 2 railway tracks. Okay? Trains kept on coming, going there, a lot of trains as they used to come, the dirty water, everything used to fall on her. She was not able to move, a lot of blood has lost. Rats were there on the railway tracks, they started coming, biting the wounds. All those things kept on happening. Okay? Till 7 hours, morning 7 a.m., till 7 a.m. she was lying there. Trying for help, but there was no one. 49 trains during this time had ran over her. Finally, during this time, somebody in the morning, some villagers spotted her. They took her to the nearby hospital, Bareilly station, very small place. They took her there and they took her to the railway hospital. But the problem was, the doctors were talking there that this girl has been on railway track for so long, she has lost so much blood, we have to give her blood, and moreover we have to cut her leg properly now, we have to amputate it, okay, we have to do a surgery. Now, for doing surgery you require anesthesia, you need to make it painless, that is called anesthesia in medical language. So, problem was that it was a small setup and there was no facility to give anesthesia. And this girl was listening what doctors were talking. Doctors were in a fix. If we operate, we don't have that medicine to reduce the pain. Okay? She may die of pain. And if you don't operate, she may die of the poison because it's becoming gangrenous. Long term, who will win? Yes, this fuel is your emotion. You may be 140 IQ. You may be a very intelligent person. But if you don't have emotions to do your work, you cannot beat. Your junior who got second class and you were topper in merit, but your second class will become your boss. Ultimately. This happens. In real life I have seen. Because those people, they take action. Intelligent people are too smart to give even excuses. They can give really good excuses. They are very intelligent. But whom are they fooling in that process? That's where they do the mistake. Because they are emotionally not intelligent. They think they are intelligent, but emotionally they are not intelligent. In fact, the quality of your life depends on the quality of your emotions. Any moment, if your feelings are good, quality of your life at that moment is good. If your feelings are not good, quality of your life at that particular moment is not good. You may be in 5-star hotel feeling bad, quality of your life is bad at that moment. You may be in a jungle, but you're feeling great, quality of your life at that moment is great. It means how you feel is quality of your life. And this should be decided by you. How you feel should be decided by whom? You. But that doesn't happen. That doesn't happen. We have given our remote control in everybody's hand. And we have to bother every damn issue in the world. Who is the favorite hero? There is a fight. This movie is a hit or flop? There is a fight. I have literally seen it in my medical college. Literally fighting people in medical college. I have seen doctors fighting. Chiranjeevi is good or Balakrishna is good. And there is a physical fight for that. What a bunch of fools. I feel ashamed. We are doing medicine. And what is this we are fighting for? Where are we utilizing our emotions? Your emotional resource is limited. If you spend it at wrong places, then you will not find it. They will not find the kick to work. You will not be able to channelize it. I remember this incident few years back. I was going with 3 of my friends somewhere, all 3 doctors. One has come from US and they were talking about some business plan, very serious business plan. Now we were traveling in a car, a signal came, a beggar came, he asked money. This fellow told, I don't want to give you money or I don't have change, go ahead. So some beggars are very high-tech beggars. So that beggar told, you will die, and he left. Okay? Now this fellow was so disturbed. How dare this man, bloody beggar can tell me like that? If I don't give money, he'll get angry. He'll abuse. What is this? Okay, and they started discussing why beggars are the worst thing in the world. And then the American person who just came back from America, he told, you know, in India this is the problem. Now one beggar makes a statement and it is an Indian problem. You know, as if in America there are no beggars. But this is what our mentality is today. And for next 15 minutes, those three people who were discussing seriously their business plan were discussing about the beggars. This is how we waste our emotions. You are discussing something which is related to your career, your life. And here one beggar makes one statement and he literally tells you, you talk about me. You didn't give me money, no? Now talk about me. Who is more intelligent, the beggar or me? This is where we have to understand. All successful people, all good leaders, they understand I should not waste my emotions at unnecessary places. I was working in a corporate, me and my boss, very senior man, very successful man. We entered into the cabin. Just as we were going through the hospital, he saw something wrongly happening, so he shouted at those people. He was very angry. He was livid, very angry. And I told him, what happened, sir? So angry. After going to cabin, we were having coffee, and I told him, sir, early morning you get angry. There are 2,000 employees. Somebody or other will make mistake. If you keep on getting angry, your health will be bad. And he told me one very interesting thing. But this is how successful people think. He told me, Vivek, if you want to grow into leadership, you should know how to act angry. He was not burning from inside. It was all a show. But he knows where to use emotional resource, where not to use. We are throwing it at every damn place. If lift doesn't come, we kick the door, third door. Right? If it gets little late, if there is a red light at the signal, those people who come on bike, what happens? Keep on going on neutral gear, first gear, second gear, keep on going on beautiful. That's what happens, right? Looking here, looking there. You do whatever, signals don't care. We have to understand things which we cannot change in life. It is useless to lose our emotions there. Because and then we find, oh, I am very tired, as if you have broken stones in college. Why you are tired? Because your brain of your emotions are wrong things. People are fighting with, and these are true incidents what I have noticed. Aishwarya Rai will have baby boy or baby girl, there is a fight. There is a discussion, intense discussion. Mahendra Singh Dhoni should have given bowling to him or him, and there is an intense discussion. I think you bother about your father is not happy with you, think about that. What Mahendra Singh Dhoni is doing, why are you bothered about him? You know, but no, we want to talk big things which are totally irrelevant to us. We all become clappers. Somebody is doing well, we clap. Who will clap for this? You have to understand this. Emotional resources cannot be wasted. And these are the resources we are wasting. And that's why we require emotional intelligence. You are all in second year, right? So for you maybe that phase is over. But what happens typically? There is a peer pressure. Peer pressure book. You know, you are just newcomer to college or junior college, and three of your friends, you have made them friends, and one day they go out and they all three smoke. And you find alone, right? They are smoking. And now they are saying, come on man, have. And you think, yeah, I don't like to smoke. But they say, now you are in college, man, be a man. What is this? So for them, smoking man makes complete man for them. Okay. But this is what happens when you have fallen down, you don't understand the reality. You perceive all sort of things. Now here I am telling you, why I am making this point is, here it depends on what type of person he is. Emotionally, is he intelligent or not? If he is not intelligent, he will buy into peer pressure. He will also start smoking. He will also start drinking. It could be anything. Smoking, drinking is just an example. He would also start doing something which originally he doesn't want to do. And why will he do so? Because he feels I have to be in company or I am also big. But if he is an emotionally intelligent boy, what will he do? Let's say he says no. Then these people play their next card. They say, oh, you are a kiddo, go have milk, we are man, don't come in our company, right? They make him even a little more feeling like you are nobody and we are somebody. If he is an intelligent man, what will he do? Emotional intelligence, that's how it works. He will go get a glass of milk. He will sit and say, okay, I am the boy, I am having milk, you are uncles, you have something. Okay, you are man, I am also man, I feel. This I will drink in front of my father, mother, teachers. You show. This is emotional intelligence. Emotionally intelligent people influence, do not get influenced. Understand this. Very important. If you want to grow, and very few people have that ability to check their emotions. Where are they wasting? Where are they getting angry unnecessarily? The factors, it is very hot, it is very hot, it is very hot. You tell it 10 times, it's not going to become cool. So don't waste your energy there. So many things are there in life, we should avoid wasting our energy. Now second place where I see maximum wastage of energy, you must be having some people in your class whose only work is passing comments. You have? Some samples are there everywhere, I know. Right? Their only work is who is doing what, they keep on looking and just wait to pass comment. Right? Every human being has a need to feel significant. And cheapest way to feel significant is this. There are different ways. You can be too good, so good that everybody looks at you and you feel significant. Somebody bring a knife and become like a dada and feel significant. Everybody's attention will be there. But the cheapest way is this. Just passing comment. But I want to tell, this is not to hurt anyone, but I want you to understand. Today you may be passing comments. You are not channelizing your talent or your energy in any particular way. But very soon this world is going to show a mirror. Where do you stand? You will be out of the college. Either you will do PG or you will go for the job. And in the market they will know you. I find people after doing their graduation and post-graduation, they can't write one single page of letter without making mistakes. This is what we learn. We got to ask these questions to ourselves. Where am I using my emotional resources? All in these useless things. So such people, if you have, ignore them. That's the only remedy. They should be non-existent for you. And for those people who are unfortunately got into this habit, please realize this is not something going to be good for you. This trivial happiness, you think people are laughing on your comments, a big thing? Not a big thing. Very soon people will be laughing at you. So please overcome these things. If you have that talent of making good comments, then become like that Kapil Sharma, right? Start a stand-up, become a stand-up comedian. Channelize it, use it properly. Why to waste it? Why to hurt someone? That's the most useless way of doing things. Okay? So, how do emotion bring action? Last 5 minutes. How does emotion bring action? I give an example. Wherever you feel that thing is yours, your ownership is there, it brings action. It brings action. Let's say if you have to work hard, I tell you that today evening you are all supposed to go to Gandhi Hospital and you are supposed to, all the poor patients are there, you are supposed to really help them, take care of them for one night. And half of you, or most of you will get tired in 2 hours. Oh, it's, see everywhere it is smelling and it's very hot and this and that, all excuses will come. But if God forbid any one patient, if it is your mother, if it is your brother, you will not feel that tired. Because it is your mother. The correction is there. I went to a college, full day, we had 3-day sessions. So second day, I took a session on emotional equanimity. And after taking session, I called, there were 2 brothers in the audience. I called those 2 brothers and I told them that, come on, now we are going to show that emotions gives you power. With emotion you can do everything if you channelize it. So what I am going to demonstrate is that this one fellow, who was a very lean guy, is going to fight with another 4 boys whom I called. They were all heavily well built. I told, now you will fight and with your emotional energy you will defeat them. Okay, and I told those 4 people, don't show any mercy. You really fight hard. You kick him hard. I have the permission from principal. And this fellow became scared, sir. What is this, sir? You will kill me, sir. These are 4 strong people and you are telling me to fight with them. How can I fight, sir? Look at them, look at me. So I told, come on, use your emotional energy. You will fight. I am telling you, you can do it. Sir, I am not getting emotional, sir. So I told, I don't know. You have to fight. I am telling you, you will do it. He told, sir, I am going to run away. I have no interest in breaking my vows. So I told, okay, you run away. I am not giving a choice to your younger brother. His younger brother was standing there. And I told, if you run away, he doesn't have a choice. These people will annihilate you. And you should see see next moment how that boy came. His younger brother was standing there, he took him like this. How dare they touch my brother, sir? Till I am there, they can't touch him. 4 or 40, you bring anyone, sir. I told him, what happened, man? How you got this energy? Where from this energy came? Connection came. True reason came. And that's why energy came. This is what happens. We are not connecting with our subjects. We are not connecting with our purpose. We are not connecting our goals. We are doing something just because our friends are doing. Just because it is glamorous. Just because you feel there are some people who are earning more money. And that is not your true calling. You will not be able to attach to it. And if you are not attached to it, in 2 days you will feel tired. In 2 days you will find excuses. You have to understand a purpose. And there is a difference between a purpose and outcome. You do anything well, outcome is you will earn money, you will become famous. Anything. You become a good teacher, you become a good painter, you become a good doctor, good engineer, good businessman. Anything but good. Money will be there and fame will be there. Anything but ordinary. No money, no fame. You may go into real estate. Nowadays people say real estate, lot of money is there. Go into real estate. Even there you will not get anything. If you are not good. If you are not good. So we see there are doctors in the world for whom patients will be waiting. And there are doctors who are waiting for patients. There are painters who can sell their painting in 2 crore rupees. And there are painters who can't sell their painting in 200 rupees. There are students who go to best of the colleges, to IITs and IIMs and Harvards and bring shame to their college by committing suicide and doing nonsense. And there are students like Abdul Kalam who go to ordinary college, come from a local language background and still make the country proud and gain everything what they want. There are engineers who make their field proud by doing something really innovative, really good, by adding value to people's life. And there are engineers who fail. So, is being doctor good or bad? Is being painter good or bad? Is being a teacher good or bad? A student good or bad? No, it's always the person in the field. It's always the person in the field. So, identify your purpose and just excel in that. If you are good, money will come. No matter what you are doing. I tell you, you play chess, play it so well, money will come. If you are typing, break the Guinness Book of World Record in typing. You will become famous and you will get money. Do anything but do it well. And for that you require emotionally, you need to channelize your emotions. Otherwise it will not happen. Once a world famous painter, and I will close with this. Once a world famous painter came to India. He was just going to the market. He thought nobody knows me, I can enjoy here nicely. So when he was in the market, suddenly he found someone who knew him. So he told, "Oh, Mr. Painter, please come here. I know you. Oh, I'm really big fan of you. What an artist you are." And he brings a paper pencil. Indians, wherever we get something free, we want to take, right? So he brings a paper. "Mr. Painter, please make a painting of mine. I'm a big fan of you. Please." And for him, it's very simple. He just make a painting in 2-3 minutes. And too good a piece of art. Okay, a drawing. And after 2 minutes, he takes, "Oh, Mr. Painter, this is extraordinary. You are really amazing. Thank you so much." He starts doing. The painter calls him. Excuse me, this is going to cost you 2 lakh rupees. What? 2 lakh rupees? Sir, it took you 2 minutes. Are you telling 2 lakh rupees? And what that fellow says is, "My dear friend, to make it in 2 minutes, it took me 20 years. This is called excellence. 20 years I invest on my craft so much that my each minute becomes costly." There are people who say, "I have 20 years experience," and after looking at them, sometimes I have to say, that this is not 20 years experience, this is 1 year experience repeated 20 times. That is not experience. We have to think, how are we excelling? We have to think, and we have to fix our focus, our goal on one side. For that, emotionally get connected to it. Take ownership. This is my way of doing. Only when you take ownership, you get attached to it. And ownership you will be able to do when it is originally yours. When you actually sit for 3-4 hours or 2-3 days and think about what do I actually mean, what do I actually want, why I am doing something. And only when you get your true purpose, then you will be able to do it. Thank you so much. There is no time now.
An exemplary presentation by Dr. Vivek Modi. What do you say, students? Yes. And thank you, sir, for that key that for that patient hearing from 240. You've been sitting here and listening to us, myself, Ruth Madam, and